It is so amazing and awesome and beautiful and wonderful to be with all of you this morning. Such a pleasure to see all of your beautiful faces. And we have the perfect spring day. Like, perfect. Here you go. Here's heaven. And Easter is one of our most special, sacred celebrations. Its origins blend with traditions and rites of spring celebrations throughout time, and many different paths and belief systems. Ostara, or Istra, was the goddess of spring, of flowers and of fertility. And with the spread of Christianity, her name and her symbols remain. The symbols of fertility, the egg and the bunny, but with a new figure and a new story at the center. But regardless of how we celebrate, the hope-filled message of renewal, of new life, and of the return of the light remain the same. Spring is blooming all around us. I love it. It energizes us on so many levels. The significance of the coming of spring resonates to the core of who we are. We have our very own cycles, don't we? We from time to time find ourselves in the cold, barren darkness of fear, of grief, of sickness, of loss. And in these dark times, we turn to our teachers, our tools, which are always pointing us to the light. We are born of light. We are made of light. Any journey through darkness is designed to show us the way back to our light. We cannot help but shine in the darkness. It just takes a little time for us to see sometimes. The promise of spring, like the promise of Easter, is the promise that we can and will be renewed. We will be healed. We will return to the light. That is our promise. The same forces that put spring in motion are alive and moving in us. We are made of the same stuff. We are the flower reaching for the sun. We are the baby bird sitting at the edge of the nest, waiting to test our wings, no matter how old we are. We are born to cycle through the lessons of this life. And no matter how many times we might fall, to time and time again, rise. To rise again is our nature. It's our calling. It's our birthright. It's our destiny. We were born to transform. And we are blessed with so many teachers to help guide us along the way. So many teachers have been given to us to help us find our light again. These include our parents, our school teachers, our spiritual leaders, our scholars, our books, our friends, but also our bullies, our heartbreaks, our losses, our sickness. For without them, how could we learn? In these most brutal of teachers, we are thrust into the contrast of darkness. Our winter, our tomb. So we can learn to rise again, time and time again, finding our way to the light, just like the coming of spring. We are made in the image and likeness of our Creator. That means we're creators too. And all these journeys through darkness are giving us the opportunity to shine like the creators we are. In the Lamsa version of the Bible, Jesus said, while on the cross, "It is for this purpose that I was born." Now, what could he mean by that? Was it that horrible suffering that he came for? Was it the transcendence of that suffering that he came for? Or like so many of his teachings, was there a much broader, deeper symbolism? Was he trying to say that the greatest challenges of our life are the greatest teachers and the keys to our transcendence? You know you're getting close to enlightenment when, as you hang from the proverbial cross of your life challenge at the moment, and you can say, "It is for this purpose I was born." Like when your car is breaking down, right? It starts smoking on the freeway and it starts shaking. So you pull off to the side as it sputters to a stop. You start to contemplate the ramifications of the situation on your very low bank balance. You calmly get out of the car and close the door and walk to the safety of the grass and look at your car and say, "It is for this purpose that I was born." Moments like this, when you can have enlightened observations, something changes, doesn't it? The air around the situation shifts. That's your energy shifting that you feel. The hope inside you lifts. The clouds kind of part for a moment. Would that we could have that sort of enlightened, calm observation when we get the eviction notice or the cancer diagnosis. Just let me have a meltdown first, okay? Not quite there yet, but it's nice to have something to shoot for, isn't it? We have all been in these dark, challenging places, and maybe some of us are still there, feeling lost. Today is a reminder that you can rise again. That you have everything you need right now. Today's celebration invites you to remember this, to embrace it, to believe in yourself. There are many stories of renewal and transcendence that coincide with the coming of spring. And the story of Jesus at the end of his earthly existence is especially powerful. His story symbolizes the ultimate renewal and victory over tremendous pain and loss. As we look deeply into this story, there is much universal wisdom. I want to talk about 3 particular clues in this story that speak deeply to me. The clues in this story of his passion on the cross are a guide for how we too can move past our suffering and heal. The first clue is forgiveness. Right? Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. How can you move past the emotional wounds and scars of your life if you don't first forgive? It's impossible. This includes, and maybe most especially, forgiveness of yourself. You cannot hold on to your anger, your regret, your guilt, your victim status, and heal. Truly forgive yourself and others and be free. The second clue to how to rise and heal from our suffering is living in mindful awareness of the power of your thoughts as creators of your experience. In Unity, we believe our thoughts shape our life experience, with everything from our finances to our health. We are God expressing as us. And the vehicle for this divine expression, becoming manifestation, begins with the landscape we make in our minds. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity with Myrtle Fillmore, saw the two thieves who were being crucified to the left and right of Jesus as symbols of past and future. They can rob us of the past, our memories and our thoughts of the past. Living in the future with expectation and worry can rob us. They can also rob us of the power we have in the now to create the life we desire. This ties in with the first clue of forgiveness. How can you hold on to past anger and resentment? If you do this, you're not living in the beautiful, carefree now. While hanging on the cross, one of the thieves said to Jesus, "If you are who you say you are, save us and yourself." Here we have an example of expectations of the past. The other thief said, "We deserve what we're getting. This man has done nothing." Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Here we have a thief that has surrendered to his victimhood. He expects no salvation. Here is an example of assumptions of the future. And Jesus simply says, without engaging them, "Today you will be with me in paradise." Living in mindful awareness of our thoughts as they happen helps us to co-create the experience we desire from the place where that power resides, in the now. Keeping our rambling thoughts of worry and assumption about things that have been or will be at bay. The third clue about how to rise again from our suffering and heal is surrendering to our divine origin and heritage. Father, into your hands I commend my spirit, were Jesus' last earthly words. Here we're given an example of the ultimate surrender and trust in the power of our divine origin. The final act of one of our greatest teachers in the midst of his greatest suffering is acknowledging divine origin and surrendering with total trust in that power. Everyone in this room has been through a lot. You all have been challenged by Earth School time and time again. Some of you are suffering still, or have not fully healed from your challenges that you're facing at the moment. Today's celebration beckons you to come forth from your darkness. Remember the promise that you can heal, that you have everything you need right now to heal, and invites you with that knowledge and complete trust to allow a return of the light into your life. Remember these tools given to us. First, forgive yourself and others. Next, come back to now. This now, right now, the present. The gift of all the potential of the universe is in your hands right now. Then surrender and embrace your divine origin, the Christ within, and rise again. So let's practice this moment of joy in meditation. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. You are in a safe place. Sitting on a stone bench in a cave. It's dark, but not completely dark. And you're not alone. Your head rests on the shoulder of someone very dear. It is an angel. It is their glow that gives a soft light to the cave. You feel their arm around you and take comfort in this. You have been there a little while, and something inside you knows it is time to come out. Something inside you knows it will feel so good to come out into the light again. But this inner time of struggle has become familiar, and now that it's time to leave, there is some resistance. Suddenly, the angel rises and goes to the stone door. With a wave of their hand, the stone rolls away, and light floods the chamber. As your eyes first adjust, you squint and it kind of hurts with the light. You say to the angel, "I'm not sure I'm ready." Then, as your eyes slowly adjust to the light, the face of the angel comes clear. It is your face. And the angel that is you says to you, "Fear not, beloved child of God. It is for this moment that you were born. And all that is with you now and always."